like many people, you just want the US elections to be over because, quite frankly, it is one of the most hilariously terrifying US elections I hope to probably ever live through. However, given that a lot of what people have said that it's not this election that's going to be the scariest one, it's potentially the next one, which could be even worse. So watch out for then, because, oh boy, that could be interesting. But today's topic of conversation is John Oliver and his episode he did on the Daily Show, of where he talked about third parties. And Jill Stein's what can only be recalled negative reaction. I've seen a lot of people online go after John Oliver for making fun of her. And as a comedian, it's his right. He has every right to make fun of her and her ridiculous policy proposals. Yes, Jill Stein, as a president, should know what quantitative easing does. And as she described it, it's this magic trick. Sorry, Jill, quantitative easing is not a magic trick. It is, in the most layman terms you can possibly think of, it is literally the financial institution of the country printing more money. And this is a problem, because if you look at a lot of people who looked at the crash and a lot of reasons why it took not only longer to recover it is, but also the lessen the damage, quantitative easing was that. Now, it did lessen the damage, but because they had put this essentially new money into the system, it took longer for the economy to recover, but it did do a lot of protection in the short term. This is why quantitative easing is such, a controversy and a hotly debated topic when you look at economists. They debate this all the time, back and forth. Was it a good thing? Was it a bad thing? Could we do it again? Is it right to do it again? And could we apply it in other situations? There are debates about this, and the problem is I looked at Jill Stein's proposal after I saw this, after she complained. To her, it's still a magic trick, unfortunately. There are a lot of problems with her. I already have the problems with that she will not just come out and say vaccines are safe and are okay. The problem is she has to then quantify it by saying probably or maybe. And then she repeats the same rhetoric you hear from other anti-vaxxers going, we need to go after the FDA. The FDA have already done an amazing job in actually making sure that vaccines are safe, and what more can you say? They've done the job. It's just that these people that spin this ridiculous lie can't accept the answer when it's given to them. That's the main problem. The next thing you have was when she was on a town hall meeting where this conspiracy theorist just goes, we need to open up another 9/11 investigation. Why do you need to open up another 9/11 investigation? I'm sorry, conspiracy theorists, but if you had any evidence, by now it would have come out. It would have revealed itself. You would have been able to show that, 9/11 was an inside job. But no, some people just can't let it go. And Jill Stein just randomly empowered them and furthered their, nonsense. And she complains constantly she doesn't get media attention. Well, guess what? John Oliver that night gave you media attention and brought to light that there are a lot of crazy and kooky things, and I live in the UK and I can tell you now the Green Party is just as kooky and wacky as Jill Stein. Remember, this is a person who went on a Reddit AMA and she got absolutely roasted for doubling down on her views that Wi-Fi is a threat to children's health, when there is no evidence to back up her argument or theories. It's the exactly same thing of the Green Party in the UK. They say a lot of good things. I think a lot of their things on the social issues are good, and I agree with. I agree with them on public transport issues, but when it comes to the anti-science nonsense they spout, GMOs being the main one, it's complete nonsense. It's just ridiculous. You can't think that, there are scientists who have gone to these protests and have talked to these protesters and have even invited Green Party representatives in the UK to come and have a look at their laboratories and explain it to them in the hopes that they can get them to understand, but they flat out refuse to do this. It's unbelievable. I mean, whenever a company wants to do research into GMOs and to actually find out whether or not they are safe, nearly more than half the time the crop gets destroyed. So, how can you, even as a protester, even if you are against GMOs and you want there to be a definite answer, a secure and absolute, definitive, definite answer that GMOs are dangerous, and all the evidence currently points that they are safe, by the way, if you want that answer, then you've got to let these companies do the research. Otherwise, you are never going to get that answer, and putting a complete moratorium, as the Green Party wants to do, not only in the UK but in the US as well, on all research, by the way. And Miles Power did an excellent video showing that these guys don't really know or understand that they are, they're not for GMOs, but then they're for things like atomic gardening. And that's just as, if not worse. GMOs are a lot simpler and certainly a lot safer. If atomic farming, you could get all sorts of different types of mutations that you don't know about. So, the Green Party has a lot of soul searching and, ground that they really need to cover, and for them to ever really be considered an actual political force in the UK, they need to really get rid of a lot of their anti-science talk, and that would enable me to actually vote for them. I would actually vote for them if they were to drop a lot of their anti-science stuff. But that's that. But back to Jill Stein. So she now has this amazing... she's actually got attention for probably the first time in a while. The first time the Green Party in America actually has any sort of attention. And she blew it. And not only for them, but Gary Johnson as well. What is even more terrifying, go and watch, if it's still available, I think it's still available, the Libertarian debates for when they were choosing who was going to be their candidate. And I really don't like Gary Johnson. I think, Libertarians are, a ridiculous sort of ideology to follow. I think it's a selfish ideology. But, wow! Gary Johnson was actually the sanest pick they could actually have had. You can't believe it. It's absolutely insane. But yeah, there you go. I'm sorry, Jill, but you have media attention, and these are your policies. These are the things you have said. The media is bringing these things to light. If you don't like it, then you shouldn't have ran for president, which you are running for. Them's the breaks. Donald Trump gets a lot of media attention. You got the exact same media attention. There you go. I don't really know what more else to say to old Jill. That's politics. That's the modern world we now live in, with a 24-hour news cycle. I'm sorry that that's hard to understand.